The Battle of Tannenberg, a turning point on the Eastern Front. The First World War, often remembered for its brutal trench warfare on the Western Front, was equally shaped by the dramatic yet lesser-known conflicts on the Eastern Front. Among them, the Battle of Tannenberg stands out as a deadly chess match between two mighty empires, the Russian Empire and the German Empire. Taking place in August 1914, during the opening months of World War I, this battle forever altered the course of the war and became a defining moment for military strategy, propaganda, and morale. Today, we'll journey back to the forests and fields of East Prussia, immersing ourselves in the triumphs, missteps, and tragedies of this iconic battle, a turning point that proved both a victory and a curse for the German war effort. The dawn of World War I had thrown Europe into chaos. On one side stood the Central Powers, led by Germany and Austria-Hungary. On the other, the Allies, a coalition that included Russia, France, and Britain. For Germany, fighting a two-front war was a perilous undertaking, a reality that shaped all their military calculations. To achieve swift victory, Germany embarked on the Schlieffen Plan, a bold strategy that prioritized defeating France quickly on the Western Front while holding off Russia in the East. But Germany underestimated the Russian Empire's mobilization speed. Despite logistical weaknesses, the Russian army moved with surprising agility, launching an invasion of East Prussia, even as German forces were battling their way through Belgium and France. The stakes were enormous. Russia's sudden advance forced Germany to divert resources from the critical Western Front to defend its eastern territories. For the Russian commanders, Alexander Samsonov and Paul von Rennenkampf, this was an opportunity to strike early and demonstrate their empire's strength. For Germany, it was a moment of existential crisis. The Russian plan was ambitious. Invade German East Prussia with two armies, the First Army under General Rennenkampf from the north and the Second Army under General Samsonov from the south. Together, these forces would converge, encircle the smaller German forces, and deliver a decisive blow. Yet, while the plan appeared sound on paper, its execution revealed critical flaws. First, communication between the two armies was disastrous. Rennenkampf and Samsonov, known for their mutual animosity, operated with little cooperation. Worse yet, Russian commanders used unsecured radio channels to communicate battle plans, unwittingly revealing their strategy to the enemy. Despite these vulnerabilities, the Russian advance initially succeeded. Their sheer numbers overwhelmed the smaller German forces posted at the border. By mid-August 1914, much of East Prussia was under Russian occupation, and panic spread among the local German population. It seemed that Russia might achieve an early victory on the Eastern Front, until one fateful decision changed everything. In the face of Russia's rapid invasion, the German command made a daring choice. They transferred retired General Paul von Hindenburg and his brilliant chief of staff, Erich Ludendorff, to lead the defense. Hindenburg's stoic leadership and Ludendorff's strategic genius proved to be a perfect combination. Key to Germany's response was their superior understanding of Russian movements, thanks to intercepted radio transmissions. Ludendorff realized that the advancing Russian armies were too far apart to support one another. Seeing an opportunity, he devised a plan to encircle Samsonov's Second Army before Rennenkampf's First Army could intervene. To achieve this, the Germans executed a risky maneuver. They withdrew their forces opposing Rennenkampf to the north, luring him further away from Samsonov. Meanwhile, they concentrated their troops against Samsonov's isolated army. With speed, coordination, and careful planning, the trap was set. The Battle of Tannenberg began in earnest on August 26, 1914. Samsonov's Second Army, unaware of the German plan, continued its advance into East Prussia, overextending its supply lines and leaving critical flanks exposed. German forces launched their attack with surgical precision, exploiting the poor communication and disorganization within the Russian ranks. Over the next 4 days, chaos engulfed Samsonov's forces. German troops encircled the Russian Second Army, cutting off their escape routes. Caught in a tightening noose, the Russians were unable to regroup or mount an effective defense. By August 30th, the Battle of Tannenberg reached its devastating conclusion. The German forces had crushed the Russian Second Army, inflicting catastrophic losses. Over 30,000 Russian soldiers were killed, and an astounding 90,000 were captured. Samsonov, overcome with the weight of his defeat, wandered into the woods and took his own life. His death, a haunting symbol of Russia's humiliation. For Germany, Tannenberg was a monumental victory. The battle halted Russia's advance into East Prussia, allowing the Germans to stabilize their eastern front. Hindenburg and Ludendorff were hailed as national heroes, their triumph immortalized in German propaganda. But despite its scale, the victory at Tannenberg came with caveats. While it destroyed one Russian army, it did not end Russia's campaign on the Eastern Front. In many ways, the battle marked not the end of a struggle, but the beginning of an even more arduous campaign for both sides. The consequences of Tannenberg extended far beyond the battlefield. For Germany, it was a much-needed morale boost at a time when the war on the Western Front was proving more difficult and protracted than expected. The victory helped rally public support and bolster confidence in the German high command. For Russia, the defeat at Tannenberg was a stark reminder of the empire's vulnerabilities. It exposed deep flaws in Russia's military leadership, logistics, and communication, sowing doubt among its soldiers and civilian population alike. These weaknesses would haunt Russia throughout the war, contributing to mounting discontent that would erupt in revolution just 3 years later. On a strategic level, the battle highlighted the increasing importance of communication and intelligence in modern warfare. Germany's ability to intercept and decipher Russian transmissions played a pivotal role in their success. It was a lesson not lost on military leaders, who would go on to invest heavily in technologies like code breaking and secure communication in future conflicts. Looking back, the Battle of Tannenberg was undeniably a turning point on the Eastern Front, but it raises larger questions about the nature of military victories during World War I. While Tannenberg was a tactical masterpiece for Germany, it did not decisively end the fighting in the East. Instead, it set the stage for years of grueling battles and enormous losses. This duality, victory on the battlefield but continued struggle in the larger war, mirrors the broader narrative of World War I. Tannenberg exemplifies the human cost of ambition, the fragility of alliances, and the relentless tug-of-war between triumph and tragedy that defined the Great War. The Battle of Tannenberg remains one of World War I's most studied conflicts, a testament to the interplay of strategy, leadership, and chance in determining the outcomes of war. It shaped the Eastern Front, influenced the course of the war, and left a legacy that endures in military and historical scholarship. For history buffs, Tannenberg is more than just a battle. It is a story of human ambition and ingenuity tested against the brutality of war. It is a reminder that even the greatest victories come at great cost, and that amidst the chaos of conflict, the line between triumph and tragedy is perilously thin. The echoes of Tannenberg resonate through time, inviting us to reflect on its lessons and rediscover its significance in the tumultuous history of human conflict.